Black Myth: Wukong is one of the most anticipated games of recent years, and it lives up to expectations by offering an engaging and thoroughly Souls-like experience. This game from Game Science Studios is based on the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West and takes players into the fascinating world of Chinese mythology. Black Myth: Wukong immerses players in a fascinating story based on the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West. You play as the Destined One, a human monkey tasked with recovering ancient relics of immense power and significance. Each chapter of the game is a new adventure, representing a step on your journey to recover these relics. The game masterfully weaves elements of Chinese mythology and folklore into the story, creating a rich and atmospheric world. While completing missions, you'll meet many characters both familiar to fans of the classic novel and original ones created specifically for the game. Each of them adds depth and context to what is happening, revealing new aspects of the world and its history. The terrain you'll pass through ranges from devastated villages and majestic temples to mysterious forests and snow-capped mountains. These locations aren't just decorative. Each carries a piece of history that explains why it has become so hostile and dangerous. These areas are filled with details and secrets that make exploration especially exciting. The narrative chapters of the game offer unique and distinctive stories, each relating to how a certain area became so dangerous. These mini-stories add depth to the main storyline, making each chapter meaningful and exciting. The music videos that play at the end of each chapter artistically tell the different stories, each unique in its animation style. These clips add an extra layer of narrative and allow the player to take a little break from the intense battles. The visual style and atmosphere of the game also deserve a special mention. The developers used modern graphics technology to create stunning visuals and detailed environments. From ancient temples to abandoned villages, each location looks alive and atmospheric. This immersion is enhanced by gorgeous animations and artwork that make the game's world not only beautiful, but also full of meaning. Black Myth: Wukong's gameplay combines dynamic combat, tactical elements, and a deep character progression system. The combat system is based on the need to dodge enemies' attacks as blocking and parrying are absent. This makes every battle intense and requires the player to be highly accurate and react quickly. The character has several combat stances, each offering unique dodging styles and heavy attacks. For example, one stance allows you to sit on an extended staff while avoiding ground attacks, while another allows you to deliver a powerful blow to an enemy. Each stance has its own strengths and weaknesses, which adds strategic depth to the combat. Players can upgrade their stances and attacks through a complex skill tree, allowing them to customize their fighting style to their preferences. An important element of gameplay is spells, which can significantly change the course of combat. For example, the Cloud Step spell allows you to move quickly through enemies, giving you a temporary advantage, while turning to stone right before an enemy strikes allows you to deflect an attack. These spells encourage the player to experiment and find the most effective combinations to defeat different bosses. Over the course of the game, you will encounter many unique bosses, each requiring a different approach and tactics. These battles are the key moments of the game, offering high difficulty and tension. Each boss has unique moves and attacks, making each battle unique and memorable. Successful completion of a battle is often rewarded with new skills or transformations that add new abilities to the player's arsenal. Transformations play a significant role in the combat system. When defeating tough enemies or bosses, the player gains a spirit that they can briefly transform into, or a longer-lasting transformation that grants a new set of techniques. These transformations range from regular foot soldiers to huge monsters and add variety to the gameplay. They allow you to tailor tactics to a specific enemy or situation, making each battle unique. Exploring the world also plays an important role in gameplay. Locations are filled with secrets and hidden bosses that encourage careful exploration. Despite some level design challenges, exploration is tons of fun and rewards perseverance. The visual effects and animations in Black Myth: Wukong are impressively detailed and elaborate, creating a truly immersive gaming experience. The developers paid special attention to creating a rich and atmospheric world that looks alive and full of details. The graphics of the game are of high quality and realistic. Locations, be it ancient temples, abandoned villages, or dense forests, are worked out to the smallest detail. Each area looks unique and is filled with visual elements that enhance the atmosphere of the game. Lighting and shadows add depth and realism to the environment, creating impressive scenes that emphasize the beauty and danger of the game world. The character animations are done to a high standard. The main character, the Destined One, moves fluidly and naturally, whether in combat or while exploring. Every movement, from a simple step to complex combat moves, is worked out with great care. Animation of combat stances and attacks adds dynamism and spectacle to battles, making them even more exciting. Animations of enemy creatures and bosses are especially impressive. Each enemy has its own unique movements and attacks that reflect their character and abilities. Bosses, in particular, display complex and varied animations, making each battle with them unique and memorable. Visual effects, accompanying their attacks, add intensity and spectacle to the combat experience. The music videos that play at the end of each chapter also deserve a special mention. These animated inserts are in a variety of styles and add artistic depth to the narrative. They not only tell additional stories, but also allow the player to take a little break from the intense battles while enjoying the visual art. The main character's transformations into various spirits and creatures are also accompanied by impressive visuals and animations. These transformations look spectacular and emphasize the character's power and abilities. They add variety to the gameplay and make each battle even more exciting. The color palette of the game varies from location to location, creating different moods and atmospheres. Bright and saturated colors are used to emphasize the beauty of nature and ancient buildings, while darker and gloomier shades create a sense of danger and uncertainty in abandoned and dangerous areas. This contrast helps to create a deep and rich visual experience of the game's world. The level design in Black Myth. Wukong is an interesting combination of linear paths and large open areas. The game offers a variety of locations to explore, from ancient temples and abandoned villages to dense forests and snow-capped mountains. Each location is rich in detail and full of atmosphere, creating the feeling of a living world that exists independently of the player. One of the features of the game is the branching levels and the presence of numerous secrets. These hidden elements encourage players to explore and scrutinize the environment. However, despite the appeal of such areas, they often suffer from invisible walls and complex terrain, which can cause difficulty when trying to determine where you can and cannot go. This adds further difficulty in orientation and makes exploration less intuitive. The lack of a map in the game is also a significant obstacle. In a world where freedom of exploration is usually associated with the genre, the lack of a map can be a major challenge for players. At times, it can be difficult to remember where you've already been and where you need to go next. This leads to the need to often go back and look for the right path, which can be tedious. Despite these difficulties, the developers have made the world of the game rich and interesting to explore. Locations are filled with secrets, unique items, and optional bosses that encourage perseverance and attentiveness. Each chapter has secret locations where you can find unique bosses or valuable items. This makes exploration rewarding and fun, even though it's difficult to navigate. Especially interesting are the large open areas that the game offers to explore. While they can sometimes seem empty or difficult to navigate, they still offer many interesting discoveries. Not only can enemies and items be found in these areas, but also unique transformations that add new abilities to the player's arsenal. The level design also includes many visual cues and elements that help create an immersive atmosphere. Detailed locations, varied scenery, and well-designed animations make each corner of the world interesting to explore. Even though it is difficult to navigate, the visuals and art style of the game make each area appealing to explore. The boss battles in Black Myth. Wukong are one of the most impressive and exciting parts of the game. Each boss encounter presents a unique challenge that requires the player's skill, strategy, and responsiveness. The bosses are varied and detailed, making each battle unique and memorable. Each boss has its own unique set of attacks and abilities, which forces the player to constantly adapt and search for new approaches to combat. There are no blocking or parrying mechanics in the game, so dodging attacks becomes the main way of survival. This adds dynamism and tension to the combat system, as any wrong move can lead to defeat. Black Myth Wukong is a great addition to the Souls-like genre, offering a unique experience based on Chinese mythology. The game impresses with its visuals, deep combat system, and interesting story elements. Despite some issues with level design and exploration, it remains a must-play for fans of the genre and those looking for a new and exciting gaming experience.